Hi guys, my name is Marlon Uribe. You can call me Marley. You can call me whatever you want actually. And the reason I am making this video is because I'm about to release a short. I'm making a short about Frida Kahlo and her life. And the reason I'm actually doing work about her is because as a Mexican American that has been raised between Los Angeles and Mexico, I have always been really familiar with the image of Frida Kahlo. You know, it's really easy to recognize the unibrow, it's really easy to recognize her face, and when the Oscar-winning film came out with Salma Hayek, it was hands down something that was gonna have an Oscar. That was just pretty clear. It was just so well made. Something that shocked me was how difficult it was for Salma Hayek to actually get the film produced. And I didn't really understand why it would be so difficult to produce a film about somebody like Frida Kahlo, because you can go anywhere. You can go to Tijuana, you can go to any little market, and you're always gonna find that face. You can go abroad, you can go to Tulum, you can go to Sweden. Every little market, you're gonna find Frida Kahlo's face on shirts, keychains. So it kind of blew my mind why that would be something, why she would be difficult to market. Until I decided that I would make a short on her. So as a filmmaker and actress, I kind of got tired of waiting for people to give me auditions, or I got tired of auditioning for stuff that, yeah, maybe there's a reason for it being made. A lot of people are gonna watch it, but I personally didn't want to read for it. So I kind of got tired of feeling like this growing dissatisfaction with myself. So I just said to myself, you know what, I'm just gonna write something. And I didn't know what to write. I spent weeks and weeks and weeks not knowing what to write, until I decided to take myself to the Frida Kahlo Immersive in Los Angeles. And I was sitting on the bench and I was looking at all of her work. And then it hit me, I'm like, why don't I just make a video, a film about Frida herself? Like, why don't I make a film showing who she is? Like, why don't I set about the task of learning who she is? And why don't I play her? Or at least, why don't I cover a part of her that isn't widely known, something that the movie didn't show? So of course, like any normal person, I did my research, I watched the movie, I learned everything I could about her, and something I noticed about her was that people mostly know her internationally as a revolutionary, a rebel, a woman who had many affairs, a very empowered woman. But people don't really talk about why she did all of these things. So I kind of wanted to get to the root of that. And hopefully the short that I am directing and starring in, called Frida the Woman, hopefully it does that for you. Hopefully it shows you what it is that makes her tick. In the short, I said that what makes her tick was her relationship to pain. Frida was she was a woman who underwent a lot of pain. In fact, the beginning of her career and the end of her career, which are represented by paintings. The first painting that she ever made was when she was in a full body cast after she got kind of like run over by the Mexican equivalent of a bus. So that was the first thing she painted. She was originally going to be a doctoral student in Mexico, but she had to discontinue her studies because the pain was just too much for her to go to her classes, to carry on the practice of a physician. So that was her first painting. And and her last painting was a painting of her in her bed, ascending to the heavens. So it's almost like she kind of like manifested her own death, or at least she felt it coming. It's pretty debatable. People don't know if she actually committed suicide or if the painkillers, the natural pain, kind of made her know that it was her time. It's pretty cloudy around that subject, but in the middle of her life, she had a very tempestuous relationship with Diego Rivera, and yeah, it just seems like amongst all the themes that like represent her life, pain was one of the big themes that that represents her life. And this short is a snippet of her life right after the accident. It's the first moment where she picks up her paintbrush, and it shows her relationship to pain and her relationship to herself and to the woman who would have been around her during that time in her life. So that's what this work shows, and I hope that it is something that helps counteract the statement that Frida Kahlo misappropriated indigenous culture. I would go into depth with it here, but I'm going to choose not to. But yeah, this is my first formal YouTube, and welcome to my YouTube. Hopefully I can keep documenting all of the cool films and the cool things I get to do in acting and filmmaking, and hopefully you guys get to follow along. I'm gonna keep uploading videos on my recent travels to Mexico and the magical city of Teotihuacan, and give me a subscribe and a thumbs up. All right, love you guys.